A question I often get is, how do I find my purpose? I'm really struggling to find this purpose that everybody talks about on this journey. And the great news is that you don't have to find your purpose. What you want wants you, and therefore your purpose will find you. There's a lot to be said about purpose and passion on this journey, and the deeper I go, the more I begin to realise that actually passion is a state of being. I spoke to a client earlier on today and we were talking about the idea of following your passion, and he said to me, well, what if I don't know what my passion is, and what if I don't know what that feeling is for me? How would I know to find it in something outside of myself? And I said, well, this is a great point. Because passion is never outside of oneself. This is a bit relational, isn't it? And more so that passion is a state of being, and that passionate state of being is what we might call in yoga dynamic stillness. You're either in it or you aren't. If you're in it, then we are able to take the benefit from things that happen to us and use them in the most positive way for ourselves. If we're not in it, we tend to be somewhat destructive towards ourselves and end up being not advantageous towards ourselves. We tend to self-sabotage and things like this. The great thing about this journey, and I know this in my life has been just one big screw up. And I'm sure we all relate with that, and people come in with this mindset of them being really, really hard on themselves, and I know that in me. But this purpose, this passion that we're going for, is a state of being that requires to be attained in oneself. Meaning, my passion isn't kicking the football, although it is, and watching the football. This implies that it's outside of me, but my passion, the feeling of it, always happens in here, in me. And so it's about cultivating that inner fire. It's not like I go and try and find the things that make me feel passionate. No, it's that I create that state of being of passion, or at least I realize that state of being of passion inside of myself, and then it becomes available to me to see which things or which step I want to take next through the path of least resistance, which is that next passionate step. Now, be wary. When we say passion, it doesn't mean it has to feel absolutely titillating and incredible. No, passion can also be subtle. One great description of this is, I am very passionate about wanting to do the dishes when the dishes pile up and my house becomes a mess, for example. I am more passionate about doing the dishes right now than I was before. If there was an option in front of me, for example, and my dishes had piled up, between doing the dishes and going for a walk, well, usually I'll be more passionate about going for a walk. But because the dishes have piled up, there's this sense of want or need or desire to go and do that thing. And that's what we mean when we say follow your passion. Do the next best feeling thing inside of you, but remember, it's inside of you. It's not because of the activity or the action that we're doing. Passion is a state of being that we create. And one great way, is it fair to say create? No. We unveil inside of ourselves. And one of the greatest ways to do that, and we know it, is through yoga. And so down below there's a free breathing practice you're more than welcome to sign up to. It'll give you a glimpse of that state of being of passion that we're talking about, or that feeling of dynamic stillness that we're wanting to connect to in order to be able to find, perhaps, or be guided towards, through our impulses, through inspiration, to the things that we want, or to the things that we believe we want to do. There's also a free yoga training down below that you're more than welcome to sign up for. This is completely new and completely free. You can find the link down below. There's a free community as well for people that are going through this awakening experience that don't quite understand what's going on with them. But there's a community of like-minded souls, and what we call in yoga a sangha. Sangha just means spending time with inspiring company, like-minded friends on the journey, and you're more than welcome to sign up for that down below. That's also free. You're also more than welcome to sign up for the Awakening coaching. It's free to apply, but the coaching itself isn't free. Back to the video. Our purpose, our passion, is not something that we necessarily have to know intellectually in advance. In fact, it's quite likely you won't know it in advance, but by following feeling, by feeling it all, and by following that feeling, the little glimpses in the system that we get towards a certain urge or towards something, in the end reveals to us this purpose or this passionate life that we're so craving. Remember, like I said earlier, my life's just been one big screw up, but it led me here. And so that offers us the opportunity to lighten up on ourselves a little bit, to enjoy the things that we're judging inside of ourselves that are less than spiritual. Why not go and do them for a while if it feels like the feeling is taking us towards it? We can take that as our inspired realization that this might be the path of least resistance for me. Now, is that going to be the path of least resistance for everybody? No. But there'll be lessons that are required on your journey to learn down that path of least resistance that will lead you to the purpose that you're here to give. What you want wants you, and you're attracting each other. Just follow the feeling, because the mind has no idea where this journey's going. Every time we jump into the unknown, we freak out. And that doesn't ever change. I know it in me. I'm having somewhat of a mini crisis in my life right now, where we begin to fight against things that are happening in our lives. But this is part of the journey, because a client said to me, a very wise man once said to me, every crisis is just a moment of opportunity. And he's damn right. Because in this process of jumping into the unknown, freaking ourselves out, we learn so much more about ourselves that's then relevant for that purpose that we're slowly, blindly tiptoeing down the path to find. And when we get there, not that there's ever a getting there, we might begin to realize, it was all in me. It's this passion that I want to stoke up. It's this fire that I want to stoke up, because by following that fire, by following that feeling, we're guided to that which is authentically and naturally ours. Be true to yourself. What does that mean? Be true to the feeling that guides you. I really hope this video helps, because in following the feeling towards that which we believe will be our purpose is the code from the universe or from God to let you know, yes, this is how I unlock my life. Feeling. Not with the physical senses like sight, hearing, touch, smell. No, feeling. Follow the feeling and everything will be revealed for us. I'm not saying it's easy, but it is simple. I hope you have a lovely evening. Namaste.